Hi everybody, it's Lynn here, the Go Live Granny, and I'm recording this on Wednesday the 31st of July 2024. You may hear a little noise in the background. It's my fan. Not my biggest fan, it's one of my small fans, but it is a mega hot day and I can't do this without having a fan on and keeping me cool. Anyway, I need to do this video now because I want to show you all the toys that I have made and I will be passing on to Ride Carnival for them to use in their Teddy Tombola on Saturday. At Party on the Green, there's a big event going on, and Ride Carnival need constantly to raise funds in order to put the carnival on. Carnivals don't happen without a huge amount of money and fundraising, and the carnivals are free to watch and to view, so anybody who can support in any way. And that means maybe on the night of the carnival throwing a few pennies into the buckets as they collect, or supporting the events that they have all through the year in order that the thousands of pounds are collected in order to put the carnivals on for you. Now, I noticed just only last week, I noticed a post from Ride Carnival saying they were doing a Teddy Tombola and could anybody provide some toys for it. So I checked and it wasn't just teddies, it could be any children's toys. And as you know, as lots of you will know, I am a pretty prolific knitter and I knit random things all through the year, all sorts of things. Sometimes I knit cakes or vegetables or fruit or strings of sausages or whatever. You name it, I've usually knitted it. Anyway, I thought, well, I'll go for the toy collection and see. So I had one or two toys already that I knew, and I thought, well, they can go into the collection. And then I've made some. And then just now I went through a box of all my bits and pieces, and I found some more items from a long time ago that I knitted them, that they can go in the collection as well. So let me introduce you. Well, the latest one I've just finished just now is this unicorn. It looks a bit piggy. His head looks a bit piggy, but he's actually a unicorn. Look. And funnily enough, when I started knitting this unicorn, these were the wools that were in the packet. This came free with one of the magazines that I bought. And look, how random is that? The unicorn matches my nice new nails that I had done yesterday. And it's got sparkle in it. So there's a unicorn. And that will go. It doesn't have a name. Another one I knitted specially for this event. So that I knitted the unicorn specially, and I knitted this teddy specially. And so that's a teddy for the Teddy Tombola, but the others, it doesn't matter. And then I also, because it's Olympics, I decided to go into my lovely book that I've got, Knitting for Gold, and it's all sports people, and obviously with Olympics or something like that in mind. So I have knitted this athlete, and I've done him in red, white and blue to represent the GB colours. I know it's not the same uniform, but that I thought it looked nice and cheerful like that. So I made him, and I also made the pirate. Okay, look, he's got his skull and crossbones on now. So I made the pirate. So those were ones I made specially. But just recently, when I was away at my daughter's, I wanted to do some knitting. And I can do random knitting all the time, and there will always be something or some charity that wants different things. And this originally was destined for another charity, but I can actually make another one for the other charity. So I will make another one of these. So I can give this one to Ride Carnival. So this was a lovely little snake I made. I was away at my daughter's, and I just shoved some knitting needles and some wool into my bag, not knowing what I was going to make. And then when I was there, I did put one of my knitting books in, and when I was there, I decided that I was going to make this snake, and decided that I thought those colours looked rather nice. I hadn't got many colours with me, and I thought that looked rather nice, so I quite enjoyed knitting him. And then the rest are things, random things that I had around. So I noticed sitting on my sofa was a random pony. This is supposed to be a Shetland pony. I'm not quite sure how Shetland pony it is. Some years ago, somebody gave me well, they asked me if I could make some Shetland ponies that she wanted to give to some of her friends. And so this was a tryout. I did a tryout before I did them, and then I had to make the Shetland ponies look like pictures of Shetland ponies, different horses. I don't know if they were all ponies or whatever. I can't remember now, but I had various photographs of different horses or different ponies, so that I could copy the colours and that. But this one was left over, so that one can go into the collection. And then what else did I have? Oh, and then sitting up on the side, just randomly up on top of my cupboard, I spotted this little clown. Now, this little clown I made during COVID. And during COVID, I did live streaming. So I became Go Live Granny, as many of you will know, years ago when I was live streaming all the carnivals and all the wonderful things that go on the Isle of Wight and sharing it out with the big wide world. Then COVID hit, and of course there were no carnivals to live stream, but some of my audience still wanted me to live stream. So it was important for everybody's mental health that we all supported each other. So I decided that at 10 o'clock at night I would live stream just a random Go Live Granny broadcast. And I just talked about knitting. I did some gardening. I didn't do gardening at 10 o'clock at night. I did that in the day, but I talked about the gardening and all these different things. And because I was doing knitting, I collected a lot of knitters who started following me, mainly because Yvonne, my friend who knits, and we met through knitting when she saw some knitting I had. I was sitting at a table in the hospital canteen, and I'd got knitting on the side of the table, and she saw my knitting, and that was it. The rest is history. We're both great knitters, and we've been friends for several years since I went into the canteen on that day. And she shared my live streams into lots of knitting groups. So lots of people started connecting with me because I was talking about knitting. So it turned out then that I told them that we were making smoothie hats for the Smoothie Hat campaign and various different things we were doing knitting for projects, for fundraisers. And then they all decided that they wanted, or somebody decided, and I can't remember whose idea it was, but I'm very grateful. Somebody said, can we have a theme to knit to? And so they wanted to knit as well. And so every fortnight I would change the theme. So I got everybody to suggest their ideas, and we had superheroes, this was a circus one, we had nursery rhymes, and we had a black and white theme. I'm just looking. We had doctors and nurses, obviously to do with COVID and that sort of thing. We had so many different themes, and I put all the names, all these themes into a pot. And once a fortnight on a Friday night, while I was on live stream, I would take one out and read it out, and that was our theme for the next fortnight. And that went down really well, and people made lots of things to go with our theme, and then started sending them to me, so that we could set. Obviously during COVID we couldn't, but we after COVID, a lot of those things were sold in the Isle of Wool shop, and Helen let us have a space in there to put these things out, and we raised a lot of money for charity. And she would sell them, and every time £50 was there, I would take the £50 and give it to a different charity. So we supported quite a few charities like that. So anyway, some of these things are based from those themes. So this was when we had a circus theme. So I made a lovely little clown there. Now, I can't remember, this could have been either a nursery rhyme theme, or it could have been it must have been the nursery rhyme theme, because it's not black and white, it's black and grey. We had a black and white theme, but no, this was from the nursery rhyme, when we did nursery rhyme. So there we are. Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? He doesn't seem to. Oh, he has got wool because he's made of wool. So there we are. So that's a little Baba Black Sheep. And from the black and white theme, here is a little zebra. Oh, I think I need to do something about that. That's not a very good tail. I need to give him a quick tail before I send him off. That's a random piece of wool sticking out. I didn't notice. Never mind, it doesn't matter. And then this was another one when I was doing the black and white theme. Some of the things had an extra bit of colour, but I made a toucan. Not one can, but toucan. I made a little toucan. I made all sorts of black and white things. Lots of them have gone now to various different charities. But what I did too was I'd start with a straw hat, or a hat with a big brim, and as I went through knitting all the things, I would stitch them onto the hat. So at the end of the fortnight, I had a hat that portrayed all these lovely things that we've been doing. It just amuses and entertains people and kept people's mental health going. Oh, here's another black and white one. Look, black and white. This could have been nursery rhymes, or it could have been black and white, either one, because this is Hey Diddle Diddle, the Cat and the Fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. That came out of one of my nursery rhyme and fairy tale books, and so that can go in the pile. And then what else have we got? Oh, right, also during COVID, we obviously were paying our respects to the doctors and nurses, and I think we had a theme on doctors and nurses or hospitals or something like that. And there's a little nurse that I had made to go with it. Oh, look, her apron. I might have to stitch that down. So there we go. And all these things, they're just a lovely squishy size. I made my grandson, he's 10 now, but when he was 3, I made him one of these. He asked me to make that. He looked in my book and he said, can I have a pirate? And he loved it, and he took it to bed, and it was just a great favourite. They're just a nice little hand size. So I have got a book of 50 little dolls, that sort of size. And I'm going to make some more. So there's the nurse. And then we also made teddies for the to go in police cars. I mean, these were 2 that didn't get given over, but it doesn't matter because they'll support this charity, and if the police need any more, we can always do some more. But these are called something buddies. Oh, Bobby Buddies. And that's supposed to be a little police radio there. And what happens is the police have these in their police cars, and if they have a child who's going through a traumatic situation, for various reasons, the police have come and they've got the child sitting in their police car or whatever, they give them one of these because it's nice and it's something, to hang on to that they can enjoy. But as I say, these 2, I did hand over a load. Somebody took a load of these to the police that we did. Various of us made them. But somehow these 2 got left behind. So I'm going to put them in this. And if the police want any more, I will knit some more. So they're no good sitting in a box in my lounge. And then just now I found this little character. Now she was on a hat. And this was on a hat of my memories. Now, there was something else on the hat, but I'm not going to part with the other one. And I even almost nearly didn't want to part with this one. I may or I may not. This is the one I'm not going to part with because this is very special to me. I could make another one if anybody wants one of these. But this is a Bertie Bassett, and this reminds me of my dad. And I had a fez. For one of my broadcasts, I had a fez. One of those red hats like Tommy Cooper used to wear, just like that. And my dad used to wear a fez when we used to have parties with party games. We had a big house, and every Boxing Day or the Saturday after Christmas, we would invite lots of people. This is when I was growing up. Lots of people to have a party at our house. And my dad used to put his fez on. My dad was a little man, and he put the fez on. He said, when I've got the fez on, everybody has to listen to me. And of course, nobody ever did. And it was a proper fez. My gran had brought it back from Turkey when she went on a world cruise. His mum, she went on a world cruise, and she brought him this fez back. So it was a real fez. The fez I've got, I don't know whatever happened to my dad's fez, but the fez I've got is one from a dressing up shop. And so I had these stitched on. And this was to remind me of my dad. It was lots of my memories and things, that's right, and what reminded me of my dad. And this one was a little bride, And this reminded me of a funny situation. When my daughter got married, she was just having her makeup done, and then she went to see, she passed my dad on the stairs or something, I can't remember. And my dad said, he was teasing her, he said, "When are you going to get your makeup done?" He was such a big tease. And so that little bride reminds me of that little episode with Dad. So I think these two may stay in my collection here for my own memories, because I need my own toys. But the rest of these can go. And then there is a little bumblebee here. I love making bumblebees. I used to run a network group called White Buzz, because I used to buzz around doing networking. And then one I've made more than once that I rather love, this one, is superhero. I think we had a week on superheroes, or a fortnight doing superhero stuff. And so this is my little superhero. And he's lots of fun too. But I don't mind parting with him. I did make one of these for Comic Coffee, the coffee shop that opened up that has lots of things to do with superheroes in their coffee shop. And I made one of these when they opened, and they sat it up on the shelf, and it was up there for a long time, and I just thought it was rather cute. So folks, I think that's all of them now. So I am now going to message Jo, who's the lovely lady who's going to come and collect all of these, so that they can be ready to raise some funds on Saturday. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to put tickets on these, and they're going to put random tickets in a big drum, and people will pay their money and take a ticket out, and if it matches with one of the toys, then they will win what it matches with. Unfortunately, I can't be there because I am going on some family time. You can just see that's another toy there I'm not parting with. That is Old MacDonald, and I didn't know he was sitting there peeping around like that. I used to sell child's play toys and books and things that went together, and he's part of a collection. I've got the animals that go with him, and I do things with my grandchildren with that one, so that's why he's sitting there. So anyway, I thought you might like to just see all this collection. I'm recording this on the 31st of July 2024. These are going to be at an event on Saturday the 3rd, so this coming Saturday. So you may see this before that. There's not much time between now and then, in which case you might go to Party on the Green, which is down on Eastern Gardens in Ryde on Saturday. I think it's probably all day. It's probably something like 10 till 4. And the Rotary are running the event, and as I say, Ryde Carnival have got a stall there, so that's okay. If anybody wants toys for the future, and you think you might like me to knit something, if I can, I will. I do my stuff for charity, so it would be for making money for charity. I do like making small things, as you can see. I don't like doing huge, great things, and I will do what I can. But if you don't ask, you won't get. If you don't ask, sometimes if you do ask, you might not get. But if you do ask, you might also get, because I am prepared to make some of these for charity. There was a lady who's connected to one of the local churches, and she wanted me to make 10 little woolly sheep for a group that she was in, and I did that. And I also made a hat for her for wear a hat day to support brain tumour charities. So I do love doing all these things, but I don't like to put myself under too much pressure. But my fingers are itching to knit. I do paper crafting as well, as many of you know. But I lost my knitting mojo last year. But it's definitely back with a vengeance now. And, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I even have to do some knitting before I even get my breakfast, because my fingers just want to do it. So I shall carry on making some knitting. I've got some family time this next week, but my knitting needles and my wool will go with me, especially as I've got a train journey coming up. And yes, there probably will be shenanigans. You know what it's like, folks, don't you? So anyway, watch this space, and I hope that you enjoy these things. And I will put the links underneath for the charity, for Ride Carnival, and for the party on the green, and all my contact details. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.